Hi guys, and welcome to the channel. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're returning, thank you. I appreciate you guys. Alright, you guys, so we are going to do Cancer reading today. These readings have been slow coming out, guys. There's just so much going on. I've been doing these readings starting with a little astrology, and right now, Cancer, you guys got the sun's getting ready to leave Cancer here soon, but we also got Jupiter in Cancer. We're going to get a few of these astrology cards and pull some other cards and see what's going on with the Cancer energy. If you've been feeling tired, or just take care of yourself right now, guys. There is so much energy. It's different, and it's new, and it's So, all right, you guys. Let's say our little prayer. I do try to say this off camera usually, but I just find that it helps you guys and it helps me get in that open and receptive place that we need to be to get a reading. So thank you, Spirit, for your guidance, protection, and unconditional love. I'm grateful for all known and unknown, seen and unseen divine energy guiding, allowing, and protecting us as we receive these messages with an open heart and mind. I pray these messages of healing and redemption reach those who need them and those who will fully embrace their own divine energy for the highest and most loving good as we walk on this path of healing and redemption and love. May your healing light touch, taint, and transmute all darkness with understanding, acceptance, and faith in the holy light of love. Amen. Thank you, Spirit. All right. Okay, guys. To do my little candle here. Let's get that lit up for you guys. Oh, Marcy. Sorry, guys. 1 second. Okay, all right. Now that we got that let's see what astrology cards come out for you guys. So right now, you guys, we got a lot happening. We got Uranus that just entered Gemini on the 7th of July. We got Saturn and Neptune in Aries. We got Mercury going retrograde here soon. I want to say Friday, Saturday. I'm not sure exactly on that. Venus is in Gemini. North Node still in Pisces. South Node in Virgo. We're going to have a lot going on with the nodes too this coming week. So let's go ahead and see what's coming out for you guys. Oh, we got the Aquarius energy. This is where Pluto is sitting right now. So, if you look at where Aquarius is in your own natal birth chart, that will tell you which house or which area of the chart needs to be looked at. We will pull a few cards on these, but it's Aquarius energy is about our service to people, making things, growing things, progressing. Also originality. It's kind of the community, the tribe, the greater good kind of thing. It's Aquarius is willing to put its own individual things on the back burner for something more collective also. Let's go ahead and see. The next one is Neptune. Okay, this just got into Aries. Well, it didn't just get in there. It's been in there a minute now, but it's that Neptunian energy. You can also see where Aries is in your chart. Neptune energy, that's that vision, that dreaming. And then we got Gemini. So Uranus just entered Gemini. We're going to go ahead and get one more card on these. We got Aquarius. originality, philanthropy, and progressive imaginings. House 5. So if your Aquarius is in House 5, this could be really speaking to you more than others. Also, House 5 is also ruled by a Leo, but it's about passion, play, children, confidence, and creativity. So as much as this is saying to me with that Aquarius energy, which can be about working hard to bring peace and connection with the family, the community, you also have to make time for yourself, Cancer. You have to make sure you're taking time to, and it is individual, because Leo, which is the opposite sign of Aquarius, is the house of, is House 5 is Leo's property or area of the sky. And it's more of an individual, like what brings you joy, what brings you happiness. So it could be something here where you're feeling somewhat split or divided, or maybe even a little conflicted with what you need to do for others and what you need to do for yourself. Passion, play, children, confidence, and creativity. Taking that time out to do the individual and special things you need to do for yourself. Under the Neptune, we got Taurus, or Earth. It's Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn under Neptune. So right now, that's letting me know that a lot of us here that have Cancer, maybe some Cancer profound things in our chart, we need to ground ourselves right now. We need to center ourselves. Earth energy is about grounding. Neptunian energy is, we can kind of get lost in the dreams, in the visions, in the unconditional love. You know, we could put everything else before what we know we need to do for ourselves. So this is about being persistent, patient, and practical. So not making any sudden moves on anything or making any rash decisions or anything, but remaining patient with the process that's happening right now with Neptune. See where that's at in your chart. It is in Aries right now. So for instance, Aries is my 8th house. So it's my house ruled by Scorpio, transformation, the taboos, shared resources, you know, etc., etc. But it's saying, you know, I need to ground my energy in that, you know, maybe not get so lost or swept up in some of these dreamy energies, and be very practical and patient with what's happening. Nothing's going to happen overnight. Visions don't come to overnight. It takes time. It takes diligence, patience, perseverance, and to take time for ourselves. So even though we may be on a mission to do something, make an impact in our community, in our family, maybe in our this could be clubs, institutions, places you are a part of. We have to take time to have fun. We have to take time to nurture ourselves. I also, with House 5, it says, you know, confidence, and that just means also being brave also, because Leo is known for its courage. It's being courageous, and maybe even standing against some things that don't align with its own heart. I mean, everybody else might think it's a great idea, but it doesn't feel right. And this has been a message through these readings is, you know, if something isn't in alignment for you, we need to follow what's in alignment for us individually. Sometimes it's really easy if we have these strong, because when we do, and you know, with Pluto going through Aquarius, that's pointing to also, it's digging up a lot of the shadow side of the Aquarius energy, which is what happens when a whole bunch of people or a group of people come together with the same idea, but that idea maybe excludes others, or is doesn't leave room for growth, or it doesn't leave room for acceptance. And that's can be Neptune too, where there's this immersion in an idea or an illusion or an ideal, and it's really saying to ground yourself in what feels right and what makes you feel good, and to have courage, if need be, to stand against also anything that doesn't align with your heart. Let's get to one on this Gemini. And you know, Gemini, Uranus just entered Gemini, wherever Gemini is in your chart, but Gemini is about communication. It's about your intellect. It's about the way you see things, the way you receive things, the way you speak messages, the way you get messages. It's about learning, growing, networking, and curiosity. So let's go ahead. What is... And we got a sextile. So there could be a... what is sextiling here? It's a combination of tensions and flow, potential, and a rewarding situation. So there could be a... this is kind of speaking to me about something that's wanting to be looked into more, maybe studied more, maybe so that you can transcend something here. Maybe a way of contributing to your family, your friends, your community. But also there's this feeling here of being kind of uncomfortable with the kind of duality of it. So this is just saying, this is a mix of tension and flow. So going through this kind of energy where you're kind of being pulled in two different directions, but you're kind of trying to bring yourself into it, or bring two things together. It can be a rewarding situation, okay? And then we, of course, got the Cancer on the bottom here. Nurture, comfort, and protection. So let's go ahead and see what comes out for the tarot. All right. These are all big energies. This is your Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus. I had a feeling that was going to come out. And, Cancer right now, we got Jupiter in Cancer, part of the sky. So it's about expansion, and it's about growth, and it's about Sagittarius is a sign that's in partnership with Jupiter, and it's about higher learning. We could be learning a lot more, having an open mind, opening our minds to a lot more. We got the King of Staves, which is like the King of Wands, you guys. This is a passionate leader and a courageous, brave, passionate leader. I also do see the King of Staves a lot like a Leo energy. Could be just all the kings are fire, but this is the fire of fire. Let's see what comes in under this Neptune and Earth. 8 of Pentacles. That's really hard work. That's hard work, making a dream happen, making something become a reality. We have that Earth energy and Neptune energy. That means there is a vision, there is a dream, there is something you want to attain here. And the key here is to be persistent, patient, and practical. With every step you're taking, everything you're adding to the work you're doing, it does feel like there's something here you're working on that's you want to work on, and it could benefit or will benefit others, but it's also something you're passionate about. It's something you maybe feel confident in expressing and being in a group situation, or what you have to offer to the collective. This could be something you're working on. This could be a book. This could be a project. This could just be a higher vision for yourself in the world that you have. And you're putting in the work. You're putting in the time, the energy, the effort. 8 of Pentacles is about diligently, persistently working on something that will last lifetimes, right? Not just your lifetime, but it's really leaving your mark on everything you do. Your energetic signature on the things you do in life. And staying focused on what you're working on. Okay, let's get this Gemini. Now this Gemini energy can feel like with the sextile here, which can be really good, because like the sextiles can go really either way. It just depends on how you handle the tension and the flow. So it's like this feels right, but it's also very like intense, and it's also very like it can feel with this Gemini energy, maybe feel like you're getting pulled in 2 different directions, or like part of you wants to rest and part of you wants to keep going on something here. Let's see what we got here. Just flip the Queen of Swords. Yeah, so this is saying, and this is air energy. Queen of Swords is air energy. It's mental energy. It's focused energy. There's also a sense of detachment to things. Okay, so we got this King of Wands. So there is a feeling here with your guys' reading of having almost needing to it's a balance. This feels like a big balancing act between a fiery, passionate drive and a need to stay cool, calm, and collected while you're working on something. With the 8 of Pentacles here in the center, 10 of Staves, it's like the 10 of Wands, and that's just maybe you're in the process of finishing up a very long project or work, or you've been in something for a very long time here, and you're in kind of that in between maybe doing stuff for others, or maybe focusing on a big having all your, and I don't want to say focusing, it's more like a perception, like, hey, I'm working on this, and I know it's going to be it's good for others, and it's you know, it's me, it's original, it's personal to me, I imagine something better and bigger and greater here, but also, like, there could be some kind of where you need to, with Neptune here, it can be illusion, it can be being frustrated with what is actually there compared to the big vision or the big dream you have. And it's time to just ground yourself, and maybe with the Queen of Swords here, even cut out or turn your back on some things here that are not serving your purpose, or not benefiting the project or the bigger vision, right? So we will get a little more on this. Let's go ahead and get a chakra card real quick. I want to see what chakra comes out for you guys. It's this one. And we got connection. I think somebody else had this. Universal oneness, love, interconnection, and support. I was kind of feeling like this, like there's something here you may feel good about what you're working on bringing to a situation, like I said, but there's also a feeling here of, with the Queen of Swords, of feeling torn between what is good for you and what is good for everybody else, and you may need to sit in a moment of stillness and kind of run this through your mind, think more clearly about maybe why it's uncomfortable, or why this could be you merging with this air energy too. Like, this is a really tough energy for, I think, a lot of people, but this is about a connection. So this could be multiple connections. You can see a lot of people are connected. You could be trying to bring people together in a situation. Maybe, you know, something to do with the family, something to do with a romantic partnership also, because the 5th house is about romance also. But there is some kind of passion here, some kind of dream, some kind of vision that just needs grounded and needs patience, and you need to remain persistent in working on what you're working on. And with this Gemini energy, it's just saying, hey, anything that kind of gets in your way of creating that connection, because these are like little, they remind me of those little paper cutouts, and that's a creation in itself, is like creating a connection or creating a chain of things that leads to a connection, okay? And support. So if nothing is, there's something here not supporting you, or anything that's not supporting the connection that you're creating, or the connection you are already a part of, you need to cut it out, cut it away, because it's not serving the work you're doing here, whatever this is, Cancer. So let's go ahead and get one of these gratitude oracles real quick. Nature's beauty. I love the art in these cards. Oh, so, you know, this is obviously says, hey, spend time in nature, spend time outside, spend time grounding yourself, you know, in nature right now. This can feel this air energy. We got Aquarius and Gemini, all air energy, and then Neptune, this really deep, to get deeper and maybe even to root yourself more in the work you're doing. It will help to get into nature and to meditate and to kind of just go out and kind of find your center in the middle of all this passion and thinking and creating. I mean, there's a lot going on right now, but I do want to read this Nature's Beauty real quick. You might find you are craving for nature. You may have memories of happy times spent on nature outings. You may feel called to be in fresh mountain air or to enjoy the respite of a sandy beach. Nature is a calming gift that restores the soul. Additionally, when you spend time outside, you give yourself a break from the trapped energy of ambient lights and stagnant indoor air. The fresh air outdoors is filled with negative ions, a counterbalance to the positive ions created by computers, mobile phones, and other electronic equipment. Negative ions are found in sunlight and created when waves crash on the sand and during a thunderstorm. Those ions are natural antidepressants and can help you feel more relaxed and healthier. So get outdoors. It did stand out to me. It said, waves crashing on the sand. These, it's created. And we got Neptune, which is a very watery energy. That's a deep psychic energy, psyche, emotional. And then we got all this air, and one thing, this element card that came out is Earth, and it's right below Neptune, which is the water. So when the water and the Earth hit each other, it creates that those ions that are needed to balance. So balance yourself. So that's really nice. That actually really goes well with the reading. Whoop. All right, let's get a animal oracle. See what animal comes out for you guys. Nightingale spirit. Love is all around. Oh, I love that. There is something here, could have to do with a relationship or a romantic, but this also is about support. I'm feeling that, the support. If something's not supporting you or does not have your back, or if there's somebody around you that's detached or not supporting your dream, your vision, or connecting, supporting you, because support is also in the connection card, it's time to cut them out. It's time to release those things that no longer support you and the bigger picture here. Aquarius is about that bigger picture, and it's about those imaginings. Neptune is about those dreams and transcending the reality that is only in front of you, transcending limits and boundaries that keep you, and Earth can be a very it can be very limiting, but it also can help ground you too if you're too far into the dream, and you need to center yourself, and you need to remember to be patient, because with Neptune there's just time shouldn't be a thing, things shouldn't be a thing. It's right there. In Neptunian energy, you can feel your dream, your vision. You can feel what's right there, but in Earth time, it could be further out than we would like it to be. So the Nightingale spirit says love is all around. I do love that. Let's go ahead and read that real quick. If you're not feeling supported, Spirit wants you to know that there's love all around, and that you are supported and loved. We are going to go ahead, and we got a lot of music notes coming out in your guys' cards also. So listening to music could be very beneficial to you right now. Maybe playing music, It says, in the darkness of night, Nightingale spirit sings her song of love and hope, a harbinger of dawn to remind you that the sun will rise again soon. You are so loved, and the illumination song of the Nightingale spirit calls you to a new level of self-awareness and connection with the light. Yes, there is shadow and darkness, but love and prosperity exist everywhere, even in the seeming emptiness of space, darkness, and a starless night. Hearken to the message, letting the music of the Nightingale's song remind you that love is all around. Feel it and trust in tomorrow's light, renewing your ability to recognize that spaces that appear empty are filled with love and abundance. Illumination will happen soon. The protection message to this card, since it did fly out, I'm going to read the protection message also, which is like the reverse message. It says, the darker the skies, the more it seems the dawn will never appear. But Nightingale Spirit is here to remind you that the sun will shine again. You will soon feel the love and notice the abundance that surrounds you. Sing now. Put on some music, or simply sing in the empty space. For finding the light within and giving it a voice will give rise to hope and help you begin to hear the call of another who, like you, was beginning to fear the light would never come. Bring the light into the darkness with love from within. Give it a voice and know that daybreak will be here soon. I love that. So if you are going through a time right now where it feels like there's not support or love around you, Cancer, know there is, and just let those feelings out, sing them, feel them, but just have faith in the process. Be patient with the process of something coming together here that you may be working on. Something that's near and dear to your heart, something you're passionate about. This could be a relationship with a child. This could be a relationship with a romantic partner. This could be a thing you're doing to help contribute. This could be healing work you're doing. This could be, trying to bring your messages or your experience to the people around you. That is Aquarius energy. That is connection. And I know, Cancers have been, I'm a Cancer sun and Mercury, so we went from being, over the past, 15, 20 years, and especially the last 10 years, we went from being super emotional and not realizing the reactiveness that we have with our emotions. And we've learned to not be reactive to those emotions. It doesn't mean we don't have them. It doesn't mean we aren't passionate. It doesn't mean we ain't still doing the work. We just learned that there's, and that may be this that I'm talking about here too, is this tension and this flow. Like there's a feeling of wanting to embrace like a part of our own selves that just, we have transcended, not the emotions themselves, but the reactiveness and the self-sabotage of the emotional being, I think Cancers are very well in touch with emotions, and in a way I feel like out of all the signs, I feel like Cancer is probably the emotional genius of understanding emotions, and really can see the underflow of emotion, of what, there's a surface and then there's what's beneath that. And we've actually we've had to learn to search for the beneath in ourselves. We knew the emotion's always been there, but going deeper to find out where the root of those the reaction is, it's easy. We go to the root and we understand why we're feeling the way we're feeling. But then we still have to do the work of understanding why we're reacting the way we're reacting, and how can we shift our reaction and honor the emotion without this reactiveness. And I feel like there's something here you really are wanting to, that you've been working on, and this could be your own self-work also in grounding yourself, focusing yourself. The Queen of Swords can feel detached, can feel not connected to, and it's not that she doesn't love, it's not that she doesn't feel things, she just knows what's right for her. She knows maybe sometimes being really passionate or really over indulgent, or having too much fun, playing too much, or getting too wrapped up in the collective energy, or too wrapped up in serving others doesn't serve her. So some people can see the Queen of Swords, which is a very, like I said, an air energy, as detached, and not maybe the closest emotional feminine, but it doesn't mean it isn't there. It's just she's been through a lot, and she knows it's smart. She's gotten smart about what to let into her bubble. So that's another side message for somebody. But be mindful about where your emotions are at, and if you are cutting out certain things, is it from a grounded place that understands like this is not serving my vision, my dream, or is it from an illusionary place that's not grounded, because you have a far more that's what this friction is. I feel like there's it's almost, and I've been feeling this too, there's a need right now to go into your heart. Okay, Cancer, bottom line is, feel you know inside who you are, you know what you want, you know what you've been working on. You may not know why, you may not know the final result or picture, but you've been doing the work, and right now is the time to be patient and see what happens with that patience and that perseverance, and also that kind of maybe it's time for a break. Maybe you need to take a break from putting your energy all into something, and maybe you haven't even you don't feel like you've seen the results, or you don't feel like you've gathered the support necessary to continue working on something. In that case, maybe it is time to cut cords with a project or something you've been working on. But there's also a feeling here, and this is a general message, you guys, so there's a feeling here of, needing to ground yourself, because you could be getting swept up in a lot of this mental air energy, and you could be thinking the worst of a situation, or getting into a place where it's not grounded in reality, which is, it takes time. Everything takes time. And piece by piece, snip by snip, we're creating the connections. It's a very like kind of domino effect. It's a very like chain reaction, and that takes time. Okay, Cancer. So we need to remember that time is it's part of our existence. It's part of this reality that we live in, and it's important to honor that, the time it takes. And I think that's about, go outside, get some fresh air, and just really center in on that place in your heart that, Neptune, ground that vision, ground that dream. Don't go back and forth with it. Don't get pulled in two different directions. If you know you're working on something, stick to it. If you know something ain't serving you, cut it. Cut it out. Whether this is communicating something or having conversations with people that are getting you nowhere, it's time to focus on you and ground yourself here. We got Stranger and Curiosity. Interesting, because we had the Curiosity card with Gemini, and this is about understanding and not being afraid of the other energy that doesn't resonate with you so much. So also that's kind of telling me, like, if there is something about this reading that is resonating with you, look at the other side of it. If there was a part of this reading that you were like, no, kind of look at that again. There could be some truth to that. I am going to read this Stranger. It's very magical here. Stranger. And I think it's been a while since I've seen this card, but that's interesting, because this is some stranger energy we got going on here. We got a lot of stuff happening right now that's going to feel very unfamiliar to everybody, but especially the other, moving past fear of differences, curiosity, and acceptance. I was feeling that, like you could be getting carried away with maybe some harsh judgment, or you could be trying to cut something out, or you have determined you're going to stop working on something because, one, it doesn't feel supportive. Two, it's taking too much time, which Eight of Pentacles takes time, but it's something you are dedicated to, that's very interesting. But this is the stranger moves through the world in a shroud of darkness that often elicits fear, rejection, and uncertainty, as the danger of the unknown defines its very presence. Yes, there is a veil of separation between you. Look closer and summon the courage to remain open to what you might find. You may be conditioned to look only for what mirrors what is safe and known to you, refusing to entertain any concept of other, beyond something to fear. In order to broaden your world and your experience of it, you must refute the illusion that sameness is the only way. Nothing you expect externally matches up with the other, and you're challenged by your own inexperience. But don't miss this opportunity for learning. And Gemini is about learning too, so there is something here. You could feel kind of in a place where you're wanting to have a connection. You're being drawn into something, magnetically pulled towards something out of pure curiosity, and knowing that there's something there for you to learn, or something there for you to gain. But there's also this feeling of not wanting to entertain this lesson, or this person, or this situation, or this, get into this, because there's a fear of I've been dealing with this a lot in my life too, actually, and I'm going to use a little example here. I feel like I'm quite different from those closest to me, and I've been feeling like, man, I just need to nobody understands me. We're never going to be on the same page. We're totally different, but yet I feel like there's still something left for me to teach, and something I can still learn. And maybe that one learning thing I need to learn is differences can be strengths also. And that's coming through really loud to me as a message. But it says something extraordinary is being offered to you now if you remain curious and teachable. I like to think I'm the one bringing some teaching and some wisdom and some, but it's in a different area. There's something I still have to learn here. There may be something you still have to learn here, in something you've been working on that's maybe feeling unproductive or something, because maybe this could be ego getting in the way. This could be our need for acknowledgement or support that we perceive that we don't have. Sometimes I feel like the universe isn't, there's a lot of times where it feels like we lack support, and it's because we need to see support differently. Sometimes the biggest pushes, I was just talking about this yesterday with a loved one, we may not like how we get pushed or taught our lessons or pushed to make those big changes or shifts in our life. They may not always come easy. They may not always come wrapped in a bow of love. They may come with rejection. They may come with pain. They may come with a lot of other feelings that are uncomfortable. But that discomfort, which is the sextile, if we flow with that discomfort, we can gain a lot. There's a lot of potential, and it can be rewarding because we do learn something. We learn something about ourselves and our reaction or our interaction with differences and with rejection or pain or non-acknowledgement. We learn a lot. So I love that. It says this is a departure from your expectations. That's what I'm feeling. Like there is an expectation here. You could have a really big grand vision, high expectations, Neptunian expectations, grand expectations. But that's why it's really important to ground yourself in reality, because our time here moves different, but it doesn't mean the work ain't happening. It's just we got to keep it a focused energy that's kind of that back tone, that undertone. Keep making those diligent, persistent steps forward. I'm thinking of the Page of Pentacles, that slow moving but reliable energy that always comes through for the dream. It always comes through for love, in a form of love. This is a departure from your expectations, but the stranger has come to invite you to dance to new music. Once again, music's coming in here. Third time. There is some kind of element of music here. There's a song coming to my mind, speaking of music, and I believe it's called Strange Love or Stranger. Oh my gosh. I will try to put in the description, I'll try to put a link to that song. I cannot think of the name of it right now, but it is coming. And I think that's going to be the song for you guys, definitely. And I haven't been getting a lot of music. I used to always get music for my readings. I get a song that would pop in during the reading, and I have the last couple times. I think Taurus got one, and now this one's coming through. So I really love music. I find it to be therapeutic. I find it to be a release and comfort. And there's something here that's different than what you're used to. Maybe being a part of or being committed to. Maybe it's going to require a little more grounding and a little more flexibility here. But there's something here to learn, and there's something here that you may end up finding is new to you that can be very beneficial to you, that you may be just turning your back on, just from pure protection of yourself or pure, that Queen of Swords can be really overprotective over her heart and the work she's done. Is not, she's very accomplished and she's gotten her head straight, she's gotten her mind straight, but she can also close up kind of to opening herself up to new things and new perceptions, it's like her way, or it's very Swords energy, very mental energy. So a new sensation that will add more dimension to you and what you create as a result. So new dimension to you and what you create, whether this is a relationship, a connection, a project, a goal, a vision. Now is the time to leave room for other points of view. This is a very valid and important energy right now, because I can feel this happening in my experience. And I watch the astrology, I do readings, I'm constantly believing that I am in tune, in touch with the energies that are all around me, so that I can be very aware and conscious and present as these energies are kind of shifting me and moving me. And I just don't want to get sucked up in an energy that isn't in alignment for me. But this energy is in alignment for me. So it's actually saying, even it's easy to get sucked in. It's interesting because there's an energy that feels in alignment here, and it's this feeling of you may even know, like, hey, I got a lot of valid wisdom and valid, and I'm confident about what I'm doing, and I'm confident about what I know. But it's saying to look at the other energy. and leave room for other people's perception, to allow that. You may be even trying to shift a dynamic in a relationship or a perception of somebody around you, and you're finding that you're getting nowhere. I got this message actually last night. It's interesting, but letting something grow instead of holding it all into a place of what looks light to you, what looks good to you. And it's like, man, I want you to just shine like this, and I want you to hold this light, and I want you to believe what I believe. That's this energy, and I get this energy. Like, I have a Pisces moon, which is Neptune ruled, and the card was the greedy tree. And not only do we want to make everything kind of comfortable for us, because it's just more comfortable, right? If everybody believes the way we believe, and everybody falls into line, so to say, with what we're working on, believes what we believe, is singing the same tune as us, then there's no discomfort. This is saying this discomfort of having somebody not singing the same tune as you, not on the same page as you, can actually be the friction can actually, I'm going back to the pearl, the friction, the grittiness of the energy happening right now can actually grow us all. There's a need to ground ourselves in this practical knowing that we might be different in the way we feel things, see things, experience things. And it doesn't mean there won't be more understanding and consideration and love and compassion. There will be, but it also needs to start with maybe the people that are more, and I know people get tired of hearing this, that have been compassionate, have been understanding, but it needs to start somewhere. And that compassion and that understanding for the other, for the shadow, is the way, and vice versa. The other could see you as a shadow, or you as not being beneficial to what their goal or their passion or their perception is. Okay, so this is a very complicated energy where, and this is one reason it's been pretty hard to do these readings, because there is a lot of energy going on right now, personally, collectively. It says this is a defining moment. Take the risk. Life is like a precious diamond with many facets, not just one. I do feel like a lot of people are fighting for that comfort right now, including myself, the comfort of belonging, the comfort of being understood, the comfort of connection, and feeling supported in what we're doing. And it doesn't mean it's not there, is what I'm hearing and what I'm getting. It means it's uncomfortable to sit in the presence of something that is supporting you, but doesn't look like you, and doesn't talk like you, and doesn't see things like you. But yet, without that, you would not be. I was talking about this last night. Like, we may get pushed, we may feel friction, but it actually grows us and changes us. And I've actually had to look back at times in my life and go and tell, what at the time felt just horrible, miserable, like kind of mean and rotten, like, and I've done the same too. And I'm like, and I've said thank you. You may not have realized like that you're pushing, or you're bullying, or your put downs, or whatever it was, your unbelief in me, or your criticism. And I don't even know if we're doing all that specifically to hurt people, or if that's just the way we feel about it, that's just the way we think about it, it's just how we judge. But it helps us grow to see that, and it helps us understand about what ourselves allows us to believe, or allows us to be in alignment with. It may not be alignment with us at all. So we have to, there's just this energy. It's hard to explain, you guys, but love and support and connection. I mean, I have the vision and the dream myself of just being completely loved, supported, acknowledged. That really is my ego. It really is the human part of my brain that just wants somebody to say, you were right about that, or hey, I see you, I see the growth, I see all the beautiful things about you. The trick is seeing those beautiful things about yourself, and knowing those things about yourself, and not having to make somehow yourself like, just because, and you learn, here's what the shadow is coming through. So it's like we can make the shadow even shadowier by just when I think about integration of the shadow, I think how much I've learned from my shadow, how much I've had to grasp it and fight with it and battle with it and bring it in and own it, you know. And sometimes it's about owning the other, the stranger, including those actual physical beings that are part of our lives that are, we think are nothing like us, but they are. They are us. They're as we are them. So, and their ideas and perceptions are not far from where we are. There's very interesting energy going on right now, but I feel like we need to be really more open-minded about, and just really just open up that space for connection right now, even though we may be turning our backs to, but there's something bigger being worked on here. I do feel that. Something bigger on Earth being worked on here, with this Neptune energy in Aries, right? And this Earth energy, which we know the South Node is in Virgo. What else do we got going on here? I think, yeah, I think that's it for Earth right now. Oh, I think Mars also. Yeah, Mars is also in Virgo. So that's saying a lot too, because that's where also that energy, our focused, passionate energy, wants things to be perfect, wants things to be better. And we are all working on that, but we almost want to like force better when maybe we're not taking the time to realize that all like the differences and the things we can learn from opposite energies and other people is necessarily a bad thing. It's a good, it could be, it does make us better. It helps grow us. It helps make us stronger. It helps different aspects of ourselves depending on however you're looking at this. Like I said, a diamond has many different facets. So that being said, I'm not sure, you know, there's a lot happening. There's a lot going on. I want to get one of these angels and messengers cards here real quick. See what it says. You have the power to make yourself better. If you're waiting to rely on anything or anybody, your path may be bumpy, but this will alter soon. Okay. So, I love this. This is a tree, and it says you have the power to make yourself better. And this could have to do with grounding. This could have to, if you're feeling very disconnected or very detached towards the things around you right now, because it just isn't matching up with the way you feel inside, and you're like, I just don't want to be a part of this. Like, so I'm checking out, you know. I felt myself mentally and checking out and being like, I forget this. Like, this is too much. But it's really saying to be present and step back into it. It's saying this interaction with even the things that are uncomfortable and have a lot of tension, we can create a flow with, and that does help us. That does help us get better. That helps us flow better. That helps our balance. It helps us understand like a different level of, it's a whole different level of connection. So that's interesting. Let's go ahead and get and we got Yeshi Sagyal. Yeah, and it's 33 too. We also got Nature's Beauty, which is 33. We're going to go ahead and read that. I almost felt like I should have switched to decks. The energy has shifted so much this week. I may end up doing that, actually. This may end up being a bonus reading. I may end up doing another one. But it says, you shall overcome all obstacles. Success is imminent. So stay connected to your path no matter what, and continue to apply yourself. 8 of Pentacles. Allow your spiritual path to support you in all areas of your life. Live by your spiritual beliefs. Seek out the support of your spiritual brothers and sisters for help when needed. But also trust that you are intimately and directly connected to the powerful divine light within. There can be a dramatic healing breakthrough when you rely upon your spiritual connection. The Oracle of Yeshi Sagal 333. It's a tiger. It's beautiful. augurs empowerment and healing by assuming a confident attitude and taking steps forward. It indicates that a negative time is drawing to a close and encourages commitment to the task of overcoming negativities through spiritual practices suited to you. It doesn't matter if you feel like a beginner or are uncertain of how to meditate, for example. Yeshi Zagyo became enlightened. I'm gonna have to look up how to say that. Become enlightened because she made progress one step at a time. That Page of Pentacles that kept popping in my brain, attracting the right teachers and guides to assist her. Know that you are a student. Know that you are, as much as you may believe, and we are teachers. Right now is a time to be a student. Right now is time to be an observer. Right now is time to be patient and open your mind up to the lessons and the support that the universe is sending you right now. It says you have the precious gift of such a path. It is good karma to have such a path, and it creates further good karma when you pursue it. I love this. The repeated 3 symbolizes that all manner of assistance and support will be granted to ensure your attainment. This will include the gifts of appropriate teachings and teachers, friends, healers, synchronicity, circumstance, and opportunity. Trust the universe and go for what you want with boldness and courage. Finally, this oracle indicates triumph over even the most severely negative energies. I'm not getting a lot of huge negative energies from this reading, but it does feel very negative when we don't feel supported or we don't feel like, when we don't feel like we're on path, it can feel very, very disconnecting. Trust the universe and go for what you want with boldness and courage. Oh, I already read that. He says, with the help of supernatural intervention, if needs be, to overcome the negative energies. To activate that blessing, be determined to prevail. Fully empower the beneficial workings of the light in your life. And in our world, truly, you are a light worker. Embrace it and live it. I do love that for you guys, Cancer. Let's get a spiral oracle. Oh, that did not take long. Center. That makes a lot of sense. With the center card here, we're going to go ahead and read that. Because this is about really staying in your center, but also being open and observant to the things around you, even if they seem different. And maybe you've closed your mind up or turned your back on learning from the things around you because it's uncomfortable. Everything moves, and I take advantage of that movement, flowing with it. Like a river, water naturally will find its way towards life. Something guides me in the torrent. Something moves me from the center. Oh, this is pulling out of the center. So I listen to all the answers that are waiting for my attention. Life is now, the waters are telling me. The key word to this card is flow. Interesting, because we have the sextile, and it's a combination of tension and flow. The tension within to flow with it, with the things around you, because it has potential, and it can be a rewarding situation. I leave behind controlling tendencies and the fear of change. I embrace what is new without resistance, so that my passion flows from the center, and the inevitable comes to flourish along with my own beauty. Passion flows from the center for the bigger picture, the bigger vision. I love that. I love that. And then we got ancestral warmth on the bottom, you guys. A lot of support right now. I feel like there's just a feeling of working on something here, working on something diligently and passionately, and needing to ground it in what's around you, also to make those connections and feel that support and feel that love. Be open to what everything around you is trying to teach you or show you, not only about the world you live in and the environment you're in, but about yourself, because you're a part of that. You are that. It's easy to disconnect ourselves from that reality. Let's go ahead and get a quote real quick. I got 2 quotes. A stranger. Okay. Interesting. Nature's beauty. Love that. Okay, what do we got? You can't depend on your eyes when your imagination is out of focus. Mark Twain. interesting, because we got that Neptunian energy and that earth energy. And like I said, you may not be focusing on, maybe either like hyper focused on tunnel vision and not be seeing things. But the interesting thing too is the other quote we got. So we got two sides to this message. It says, the only thing that interferes with my learning is my education, which that's interesting, because that goes with this being open-minded to learning other things, not just what you know. The only thing that interferes with my learning is my education, what I know, what I've learned. So it interferes with my continuing learning. So we are here trying to learn something more about connections and about the environment around us. And right now is maybe not a time to depend on your own eyes so much as to trust spirit and know that there's something there that is being shown to you and is there to support you and love you and grow you. But you may have closed your mind up to it. You may have shut your eyes to it. You may have turned your back to it because you think you know. That's the message I'm getting. And I'm not just picking on you guys, Cancer. This is, I got a Cancer Sun and a Cancer Mercury. So, and I've been having kind of a lot of, I guess I could call it conflict, but a lot of inner conflict about like how I'm not seem to be getting through to anybody around me. And that's just spiritually saying, you ain't here right now in this moment to get through to anybody. You're here to learn something. So be open to what lessons are coming in for you, and know that you may be caught in a dream. You may be seeing a vision or a dream that's not grounded in the earth energy right now. And it doesn't mean it's not coming true, but there's stuff that needs to be done. There's more work that needs to be done. Eight of Pentacles. So keep focusing on your work. Keep focusing on you and what you're putting your own personal signature into what you're doing. And let the stranger have its space to be the stranger thing and pay attention to it. Try to see what you can gather and learn from these stranger energies that are coming through for us and for us, So that is, let's go ahead and, I feel like we should just go ahead and get a surrender card real quick too, Cancer. Let's see what we need to surrender. Surrender your desire to control people. Yes, we cannot control whether others believe what we believe, are on board with what we're on board with. This is a very, very hard lesson to learn. It says, being over-controlling can sabotage relationships. To more effectively achieve your goals, back off, regroup, and give the situation some breathing room. So if you're trying to push something because you're totally passionate about it and you totally have a vision and you totally know what you're talking about, Spirit's really coming in heavy today with this message, you guys, and saying, back off. Things are around you. Surrender to what is. Surrender to what is. Flow with what is instead of fighting it. When you can't change a situation, compassionately accepting it exactly as it is will bring you peace. Let's do that, shall we, my Cancer family and friends? Let's go ahead and try that, shall we? Because it is just a lot, you guys. I get it. I get the frustration, but we're all here just trying to learn and teach each other. But I have felt really frustrated with just not feeling like my point or my passions are getting across, and maybe they aren't meant to. And then I watched a video, and I think I put it in it was a Freud saying like the empath's job is not to heal others, but to awaken by being. You may feel a lot of stuff, you may understand a lot of stuff, but the more we can just be and not push, the more impactful it can be. I feel like it's something I'm learning to do myself, but it's just that time, and I'm a mercurial person. I like to talk and communicate, and I love to read, and I just love to learn stuff. So sometimes it's kind of crazy because the things we need to learn the most are the things we're most closed off to, because it means we might have to change a feeling or a thought or a perception we have about ourselves or of the other, the stranger. So let's keep in mind that something's trying to change here about the perception of the other energy, whatever that energy is in your life, Cancer, and maybe take the message that least resonated with you in this reading, or that your mind tells you, that ain't me, that ain't. Maybe listen to that a little extra today until another reading. So let's be a little more understanding with this very, very different energy that's happening right now with this You know, there's so many people just want to just change the mind of the world right now, change what's happening, change where people's hearts are at. We don't have control over that. We need to release control. We need to surrender with the flow, and be at peace with what we're doing. Okay, so it doesn't bring us peace to fight something that has its own lessons and own things to learn. Okay, a person, a place, a situation, but to stay passionate with what you're doing, the work you're doing. Don't give up on the work you're doing just because you aren't getting the response or whatever it is that you feel you are lacking, or you know, don't turn your back on the other. Don't turn your back on the situation just because you can feel the friction or the discomfort in it, because it's going to lead to more growth, and that's what we want, right? That's why we're on this journey, is to grow and learn. So let's keep that in mind as we move forward. Thank you again for coming and watching your video, you guys. I appreciate it. I do apologize for not putting out as much content. I promised myself probably almost a year ago I wasn't going to push, only when I have the energy and I feel it. I feel I can give that, you know. We can give a lot away, and then that doesn't leave a lot left for us and ourselves and our family and our other stuff. You know, learning to balance this and that, learning to balance all this has been a process of integration. So I just want to thank you guys for supporting, stopping by, doing your work. It may feel futile sometimes, like, why are we doing this? It's not making a difference, but it is, you guys. I want you to know that. I want you to know it is making a difference. The work you're doing for yourself, on yourself, in yourself, is making a difference in the collective. It's changing your vibration. It's changing your perception. It's changing your song. It's changing your tune, and therefore will affect those around you as they can us. But we have to be open to listening to other people's tunes if we want them to listen to our tune too. So that's another message. So thank you again, you guys. I appreciate you guys, and I hope you guys have a good day. And as always, I'll talk to you later.